This is He Knows the Sport, bringing you that heat and that fire. Keith Thurman, dog. He revealed Terence Crawford as a, once again, and the number 3 for the number of confirmation. A chihuahua barking behind the damn fence. That's what Terence Crawford is at his truest and his most properest levels. Y'all heard Keith Thurman. He's been telling you guys this stuff for years. What has this guy done at the division for him to deserve a fight? This is what you guys have to understand. Terence Crawford doesn't walk. He doesn't get the chance to walk. He doesn't get a chance to come out of the bed, don't brush his teeth, i.e. do heavyweight lifting, no heavyweight lifting thereof, and just jump into a Spence Crawford fight. It doesn't work like that. What kind of classic Doden troglodytisms is this? What kind of Rudy Poon plum brainism is this? What kind of ultra fanboy with the ultra fanboy rhetoric is this? This is what reverse bias, aka detractors, aka panders, want you to believe. Oh, Terence Crawford and Spence should happen now. No, doesn't happen on your time. Who the F are you guys? Let me say it again. Who the F are you guys? You guys don't move the thumb and you don't move the needle. It's the promoters that does this. The networks that does this. And they're going to do it when it makes the most financial cachet time. Let me say it again. They're going to do this when it makes the most financial cachet time, because boxing is what? A three-pronged monster. Economics, politics, and pugilism. Let me say it again. Economics, politics, and pugilism. That's the truth of the fact of the matter. Keith Thurman's been right the whole time in deducing Terence Crawford. Y'all can say what y'all want about Keith Thurman. Y'all can say that he ducked Errol the True Spence, which he did. Y'all can say that he's been lackluster. He's been fat. You know what I'm saying? He's been blowing up in weight in between. You could tell that he went from being, you better not duck me, son, to a flute player, right? Flute player, right? But here's the thing. One thing that you can't knock with Keith Thurman is he's a sharp and astute boxing brain. He tells the truth every time when he's talking boxing. And people can't take that away from him. He's shrewd in that regard. He knows the sport in and out. Because when you listen to him talk, you can tell this is a guy that's a student of the game. And what he's been telling you about Terence Crawford, which falls under the same thumb in the needle that He Knows the Sport's been telling you, this is why I always say pros, experts, connoisseurs, purists, and pugilists all come out and say that, damn, He Knows the Sport is on the thumb and the needle of the damn situation, because they confirm what I say. I told you guys. Keith Thurman confirmed that Terence Crawford is a chihuahua barking behind the damn fence. Because he even looks at the man's resume and he's like, okay, what in the resume is impressive? A lame duck Jeff Horn? A one-legged or one-gimp Jose Benavidez? A 5-year past his prime at that time? Notice I have to add at that time, because he's 10 years past his prime. Amir Khan, glass chin variation? A green bean or a green mean machine, 262 days on the shelf, 103 days removed from being 365 days from the shelf. If that's your claim to fame at 147, then man, that's not boogeyman status. That's not even a status. This is what I'm trying to tell you. Dennis Ugas, to me, has more credibility at 147 than the Terence Crawford. That's the truth of the fact of the matter. By the way, that's the real boogeyman. So when Keith Thurman's telling you these cold-hearted, unadulterated, cutthroat truths, you want to listen. But no, here's the problem. And I'm going to deduce this in He Knows the Sport Batman form, because I'm in Batman He Knows the Sport form. Meaning the world's greatest detective of all time. Meaning when I say He Knows the Sport Batman form, meaning when He Knows the Sport has prep time, he's undefeated, he's flawless. Here's how I'm going to break this down to you guys in a scientific form. When you sit there and you look at Terence Crawford, right? And you deduce his resume. His resume is equivalent of a guy who, like his whole career, has been lazy. It's representative of a lazy promotional thing that Top Rank has done. Get him in there with guys that are way below his skill set just to prop him up and make him look good. That's archaic promotional way of building a fighter up. Because if you're not testing yourself against upper echelon quality opponents at the division, how do you know where your barometer's at? This is the fundamental problem with Terence Crawford. I don't have an issue with Terence Crawford. He's still my second favorite fighter in the welterweight division. Isn't that ironic? Isn't that a catch-22? Isn't that a conundrum? I still like Terence Crawford. The problem is he's not willing to test himself. And if he's not willing to test himself, then I have to keep the foot on the what? On the necks. I have to keep the foot on the what? On the necks. I have to do that. Because I can't sit here and watch this guy continuously bark like a chihuahua behind the damn fence and don't call him out for it. You got to call a spade a spade. You got to keep that thing real. Keep it a buck and call it 100. And the truth of the fact of the matter is Terence Crawford has not been tested at 147. He has no legitimacy there. This is why Keith Thurman has all the credibility in the world to say this. Because the upper echelon of the division, right, is a Errol Spence, a Terence Crawford, a Keith Thurman, a Danny Garcia, a Sean Porter, a Dennis Ugas, a Manny Pacquiao. Is Terence Crawford fighting these guys? Has he fought these upper echelon guys? No. So if he fundamentally hasn't fought the upper echelon guys, how is he tested? How do you know where his barometer is at? But Errol the True Spence fought, 3 of these guys. Kell Brook, Sean Porter. I mean, come on. What more do you need? It's ridiculous. And next, he's going to fight either Manny Pacquiao or Danny Garcia. Errol the True Spence is continuously testing himself, pushing himself. But what is Terence Crawford doing? This is the stuff we're talking about. You guys want this fight to be an epic fight of epic proportions and epic magnitudes. You want it to be a superstar fight. But guess what? In order for it to be a super fight, both fighters need to be super fighters. This is what makes a super fight. Both fighters have to have a superstar resume that they bring to the table in order for us to have credibility that this is a super fight. Errol the True Spence has that. It's established. The Kell Brook and the Sean Porter fight is enough. I mean, you can go into his catalog and look at more, but those two are more than enough to say he's a super fighter. But what does Terence Crawford has as credibility to denote him as a super fighter? This is what Keith Thurman is talking to. This is what he's speaking to. And these reverse bias, aka detractors and aka panders, because I haven't got off my Batman mode, they don't really give two flying you know what's about Terence Crawford. They're still mad that Errol the True Spence reduced Mikey Garcia into what? Nothing but what? A Uber, Lyft, and hold up. Hey, taxi, Tijuana cab driver fighter. So they want revenge on that. Because remember, Little Mikey, aka now formerly known as Little Mikey, now known as Beat My Face In, aka Human Pinata Dude, they're still hot and bothered like grits about the situation. So now they just jumped on the next person that they want to supposedly expose Errol the True Spence. They don't care about Terence Crawford. He's a brother that's undefeated. They don't ever care about these brothers. Because that's why they were like, no, Canelo Alvarez. They were jumping on Canelo Alvarez to fight Errol Spence because they wanted Canelo Alvarez to get revenge on the Mikey Garcia situation. But Canelo Alvarez is not looking that way, so they jumped on Terence Crawford. See, don't let them dupe you. That's what they did. Because they had to jump on the next person to be basically anti or against the truth. Because misery loves company, man. Let me say it again. Misery loves company. People don't like people that are successful, that are men with confidence, purpose, and an abundance mindset, and that are dominating in their fashion. People don't like one person to just be lording over situations. That's too much for them. It's too much for their beta boy brains to fathom. Let me say it again. Oof, that was so deep and profound. It's too much for their beta boy brains to fathom. So what they do is they hate and they troll and they do reverse bias, aka detractors, aka panders, nonsense against the situation. But when you sit there and look at it, Keith Thurman, you get the biggest salute of the damn day because you Ethan and you murk Terence Crawford and you throw the truth of the fact of the matter that this guy legitimately has nothing of credibility for us to sit here and talk about. Again, what has Terence Crawford done at 147? I'll give you the underlying answer. In the quadrillate of 4, because 4 means you're covering on all sides of the angles. Remember, I'm always giving you the meanings of numbers. Oof. You know, he knows the sport, 3-dimensional thinking ability, dog. I'm always giving you the meanings of numbers. 4 means you're covering all sides and angles. And covering all the sides of the angles in the he knows the sport, cold-hearted, unadulterated, cutthroat, truth-telling fashion. The truth of the fact of the matter is, Terence Crawford is nothing but a what? A chihuahua barking behind a damn fence. This is what Keith Thurman is speaking to. This is what Keith Thurman is denoting. Again, Keith Thurman, you get the biggest what? Salute of the damn day. This is He Knows the Sport. Checking out.